Hey there, today I'm going to teach you how to draw Optimus Prime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the eyes. So above the eyes there's a little ridge of his helmet, so I'll draw that in first. So it's a curve that kind of goes up like this, okay? And for his eyes, they're basically almost like triangles, so I'm going to come down on one side and then come back up toward the center. So the center is right here, okay? I'll do the exact same thing for the other eye. Okay, now this is a very simplified version of Optimus Prime just because he's got a lot of detail and it would take me a very long time if I were to draw all that detail. So let's go down to the side of the head, so to the eyes. I'm just going to follow that eye line on either side and come down. And then I'm going to come up a little bit to the center, okay? I'll do the same on the other side. Then from here I'm going to draw a straight line down. From that middle point, I'll come straight down to the bottom of his chin. And on the sides of his head, I'm just going to come down straight, just like that, okay? And I'll connect those points with a straight line, just like so, okay? Now, let's go in and draw a little bit more detail around the face. So here, I'm going to draw a line that points from this point here towards the center, just like that. And then for his jaw, his cheekbones, I'm just going to come down to the middle and down again. So I'll do the same here. So straight across and then down. Okay, so there's his face, and then he's got sort of like a mohawk sort of design. So on one side here, I'm going to curve sort of to the point of the inside of that eye, and I'll do that again on this side, okay? And then I'll connect these 2 points with a slight curve, just like that, okay? And then from here, I'll draw a line through the middle, and then I'll draw a series of straight lines just across, okay? And then from here, I'm going to do a curved line to the side of the face, just like that. I'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side. And on here, so right around here where the eye line is, I'm going to do a curve out, just sort of like that. I'll do the exact same thing on the other side. And I'll draw a straight line across just to finish that off. And then a line halfway through. And these are sort of like side bends in his face. Okay? Then I'll draw sort of semicircles on the outside here, and this is where his antennas will be. So from here, I'm going to draw one straight line, okay? I will draw a little tip, and then I'll just thicken up that line just like that, okay? Let's do that on the other side. So straight line, cap it off, and double thick. Okay, so there's his head. Let's go into the body. So his body's going to be sort of positioned looking this way. So I'll start up here. I'll draw a straight line in an angle just like that, okay? And then this, you have to sort of imagine a box. So I'm going to come up. It comes behind his back, just like that. And this line here is the same angle as that line over there. And I'll sort of figure out where the center of his chest is. So I'll put a point here. And I'll draw a straight line to that point. And I'll draw another straight line to that center. Okay? Now from here, because this is sort of the top of the box, this would be the front. So let's do an angle down like this. Okay? We'll do the center of the chest. And then the side of the chest, just like that. Okay? Now I'm going to connect these points, just like that. Now in the chest plates, it's got a signature, like windshield. So I'll draw 2 lines across, or down, and then finish that off, just like that. Okay? Now I'll do the same on this side here. 2 lines down, and then connected across, just like that. And you can go in if you like and just thicken up these lines so there's a little bit of depth. So what I'll do on the inside, I'll draw a thin line across here, and then at the bottom, just a straight across. And I'll connect that with an angled line, just like that. So let's do that again. This side, I'll come straight down, across the bottom, and then a diagonal line, just like that. Okay? Let's go into his arm here. So this is his shoulder. So I'm going to draw a line that comes across from here down to here, and this is almost a perfect square. Okay, I'm going to draw a perfect square, just like that. Okay. Now, on his shoulder, he has what's that that exhaust. So I'm going to sort of imagine this line comes across. This line will come up this way. That means this is where the exhaust will start. So it's a circle or an oval. I'll follow this line across the shoulder, double wide, okay? And I'll round that tip off just like that, okay? But it'll extend out to a smaller part. So 2 lines out, and round it off in the end. And then I'm just going to do 3 black ovals just like that. Okay? So here, now I'm going to tuck that shoulder back down, finish this back, and then here I'm going to come down around here about halfway, but this is where it sort of gets a little bit tricky, because this is his arm, his forearm, to his elbow. So let's imagine that this arm is going to come this way. So I'm going to draw a line that's sort of curved. Okay, that's the inside of his forearm. I'm going to curve that out like that. Okay, and then I will draw a curved line this way. So that's the thickness of his forearm. Then in here, I'm just going to draw a half circle and then finish that off. So that's his elbow joint. Then in this corner, I'm going to draw a circle or an oval, and I'll thicken that up on the upper side, just like that, okay? Now let's get into the wrist. So here, I'm going to just finish that wrist off here, and then I'm going to draw the hand before I draw the rest of the thickness of this forearm, okay? So very simple hand. Draw a line across, and I'll spread 2 lines outward, okay? And then I'll come down here in an angle, same here, and I'll finish that knuckle off like that. I'll draw a straight line across to join those 2 points, okay? And then here, I'm just going to draw a line across. And this is where I need to draw 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, just for the fingers. And then for the thumb, I'm going to come out, come down this way, down, and then just before that line here, I'll finish that off, okay? Now, with this forearm, I'm going to finish off the perspective of his forearm. So there we go, right there, okay? Now let's finish off the chest. So this line here is going to be the same, just like that, okay? So that's finished off there. Let's go into the ribs. So he has a small little area right around here that looks like it follows the same lines as the chest. So I'm going to come out, back in, and then back. Okay, so that just sort of follows the same lines as the bottom of his chest. Okay, now his waist, I'm going to do 3 lines down. Okay, so this one's a little bit higher. I'm going to round up the front of the belly and come up in a diagonal line. On both sides here, I'm just going to draw a little bit of detail. So 2 straight lines down, and then I'll just do a couple of lines across, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going into the pelvis. Let's draw a line to see where the pelvis would start. So here, I'm going to just pull those lines at the edge back. Okay. And then I'll just go straight across in the back there. So on these points, so this point will come down, just like that. So equal distance. Okay. Here, I'm going to connect that. And then I'm going to do 2 angled lines towards the center, come down, just like so, and I'll finish off that bottom, just like that, okay? Then here, just, again, a little bit more detail, okay? A couple of big rectangles, just like that, okay? Sorry if I'm going a little bit fast, but there is a lot of detail to cover here, so let's go into the other arm, okay? So I'm going to do the exact same thing here as I did here. So this is a cube, so I'm going to just sort of follow the shoulder with this upper body, and I'll do a cube. Now, I'll probably have another segment where I show you how to do perspective cubes, but for now, just see if you can practice and try to get the sort of the idea of what I'm trying to do here with the forms, okay? So 2 lines down here, an oval, finish that off here, and then I will sort of wrap that around. So it kind of looks like this. So it's a little bit thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. Then here is where the bicep is. So I'll do 2 lines down. Okay, round that out, just like that. Okay, then to the forearm, do a diagonal line here. I'll do a diagonal line there. Cap that off. I'll cap this off here. Bring this arm down this way. So 2 equal distance lines. I'll connect that at the end, okay? Now, I'm going to actually have him holding like a blaster or something, so let's draw his wrist. So here's his hand, okay? I'll draw his thumb that comes out, down, across, and up, okay? Then his index finger is basically a square, just like that. And this is coming through the trigger, And then let's finish off this wrist. So here and here. And then I'm going to draw the blaster. So let's go across sort of like this. Okay, so that's the bottom of the blaster. I'll put the trigger in sort of like that. And then I could draw in the rest of the fingers. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now at the front of the blaster is an oval, so I will draw an oval sort of in an angle. And I'll thicken that up a little bit and color that in black. Okay? And from here, I'm going to come across, I'm going to follow this line, but as I go, I'm just going to put in a little bit of detail. Okay? So, put in the front, keep going across, come down here, kind of drop it down a bit. Across like that. I'll finish the back end with an oval or a half circle, and then cap it off with this block with some angles in there. Okay, and then a little bit more detail. So I'll do a band here, a couple lines. Okay, so there's that arm with the blaster. Now I'll go to the legs. So here I'm going to have his thigh just basically coming out here to his knee. So let's draw a straight line this way. I'll come down at an angle and then across. Okay, and then from here his leg gets tucked in behind that forearm. So I'll come down with a curved line. From this point I'll come down with a curved line, just like that. I'll round it out and come back and join that point right there. Okay, and in the heel I'll do what I did, similar to what I did in the elbow here. I'll draw an oval and I'll thicken that up on the back side. Okay, and from this point I'll come straight across and then I'll come down to meet that point. And then for the foot, 2 angled lines, equal distance. Connect that, come down with a short line on both sides, and connect that, and then angle that up towards that heel. Okay, so there's that leg. Oh, let's draw a little bit of detail here. So I'll thicken the outside part of this line, come across straight, and come down. Okay, and then I'm going to draw some horizontal lines across, just like that. Okay, so there's that leg. Let's move to the final leg. Here's his thigh. I will round that out. Now we're going to do the top part of this leg. So this gets tucked behind here, and it spreads out. And I'll connect those 2 points like that. I'll go straight down, like this. I'll come across, and then the toe. So 2 lines out, sort of like this. Cap it off. 2 diagonal lines like so. Cap that off, and then connect it in the back. And then here, I'm just going to put a line here and finish that off just like so. 2 lines in the inside, finish that off in the front, and then again, similar to here, I'll do some angled lines. And there we have it. There is Optimus Prime. Thanks for watching.